A raw chicken egg has a semi-permeable membrane. Chicken eggs are surrounded by a hard outer membrane which protects the semi-permeable inner membrane. This membrane is semi-permeable since it allows substances to leave and some substances to enter in particular. The semi-permeable membrane allows.
So, how do you remove the outer covering of a raw egg without boiling it? That is why we will perform an exciting experiment to demonstrate osmosis. But before we start, what is osmosis? It is the movement of water from a high concentration to low concentration. For this experiment, we need 2 raw eggs, 2 glasses, and vinegar. In the first glass, I will pour some vinegar and the same with the other glass. Now, I will dip 1 raw egg in the glass that filled with vinegar, and I will also do the exact same thing to the other one. Vinegar is an acid known as acetic acid. As we learned earlier, the eggshell contains calcium carbonate. As soon as the acetic acid comes into contact with the calcium carbonate in the eggshell, a chemical reaction occurs which breaks down the calcium carbonate into carbon dioxide, water, and calcium acetate, resulting in tiny bubbles on the surface of the shell. These bubbles are carbon dioxide that are produced when acetic acid breaks down the eggshell. You might have noticed that the egg got a little bigger after soaking the egg in the vinegar during this egg science experiment. So here's what happened. Some of the water in the vinegar solution traveled through the egg's membrane in an effort to equalize the concentration of water on both sides of the membrane. This flow of water through a semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. All in all, within 3 days, we should have a semi-permeable membrane free of the hard outer shell to conduct our next experiment. To begin with, what is an hypertonic solution and hypotonic solution all about? Let us define it first. A hypotonic solution is simply a solution that has a lower concentration of solutes, dissolved substances compared to the inside environment of a cell. For instance, water is considered a hypotonic solution since it is very low in solutes. Furthermore, a hypertonic solution is a solution that has a higher concentration of solutes compared to the cell's inside environment. To give you an idea, water with a lot of salts is considered a hypertonic solution since it is very high in solutes. For starting our experiment, we have to make simple sugar first since we don't have a corn syrup. We are done now making a simple sugar. To begin with, we will mass our egg using a scale. Egg A has a mass of 80 grams. Egg B has a mass of 86 grams. Now, we will place egg A in a hypotonic solution, water. While the egg B will place in a hypertonic solution, simple sugar. After we place the two eggs in their corresponding glass, then let us wait for 8 hours.
Eight hours later.
Now, egg A has a mass of 82 grams. It increased slightly to 102% of its original weight. We can conclude that when a semi-permeable cell is in a hypotonic solution, water will enter the cell. So if you take your naked egg and place it in a glass filled with pure water, the size of the egg will increase, since there were more solutes in the egg than in the pure water. The egg B now has a mass of 54 grams. Egg B decreased to 63% of its original weight. We can definitely conclude that when a cell is in a hypertonic solution, water will leave the cell. In fact, this is evident by the layer of water sitting on the top of the simple sugar. So, if you take your naked egg and place it in a glass filled with simple sugar, the size of the egg will decrease, since simple sugar has a lower concentration of water than the egg does. The water in the egg will leave the cell. So, how about we try this experiment but switch the eggs? This time, egg A is going in the hypertonic solution, while the egg B is going in the hypotonic solution.
Eight hours later.
After several hours, we will mass our eggs again. Egg A went from 82 grams to 50 grams. Egg A decreased to 61% of its original weight. Egg B went from 54 grams to 90 grams. Egg B has increased in weight to 167% from its original weight. In this experiment, we can definitely conclude that if a cell is in a hypotonic solution like water, water enters a cell. On the other hand, when a cell is in a hypertonic solution like simple sugar or more realistically salt, water will leave the cell.